the only slave or submissive I've ever owned that actually knows and understands his goddamn place. And he is never topping from the bottom. He never ever says anything about, telling mistress what to do or advising mistress. Like, that's not the submissive's job. The sub is supposed to be there for my needs only and no one else's. So when you have a sub who tells you, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z and this for you and then try to change you, that's a sub you want to cut the fuck off at the pass and get rid of them before they, before they try to take control of you. And you know what's interesting? Most of my friends who are in the BDSM world always tell me that dominatrixes, when they get a sub, they're like all thrilled about the passion of the dominance and submission type relationship. But in this aspect, I hate to say this, I am completely turned off by cross-dressers. I can't stand sissy sluts, nor do I want anything to do with people who cross-dress any longer. Honestly, I'm going to say this clear as day on air. I will interact with a submissive cross-dresser on my phone sex listing, but not in real life. Absolutely not. I am completely done with trying to find myself a sissy maid. Honestly, if you want something fucking done, you do it your fucking self. A sissy is only in the lifestyle for them fucking selves. End of story. Crossdresser, another one, especially the fetish crossdressers. They are absolutely despicable and disturbing. They are the most mentally insane people I have ever met in my life. And I'm not kidding. I've owned, in my 33 years of being a dominatrix, I've owned 3 sissy crossdressers my entire life. And I have to tell you, they are fucking disturbing motherfuckers. I'm not even kidding. They come to you, they're the most neediest subs I have ever met in my life, okay? When I was married to my husband back in it was probably 15 years already now. And him and I lived in this house in upstate New York with our 2 kids. And I had a live-in there, okay? And Sissy Tammy. And I've spoken about Tammy several times throughout the years because it's kind of interesting. You always think I had one bad experience. Let me see how this experience goes next. And let's see if I can blah, 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 right? So I take upon another sissy a couple of months after Tammy gets evicted out of my house because it was just awful. And kind of the same shit all over again, nagging, doing what they want behind my back, always looking to please themselves with guys mostly. It's kind of interesting. My slave Paula would always tell mistress every time I had a new submissive come into the stable, he would say to me, mistress, I'm like, what? He goes, good luck with this one. I think this one's going to be bad also. This is what he used to say to me. And I said, well, how do you know that? He goes, come on. He goes, look at the fella. And, it's kind of funny. I normally don't heed what my slave says, but, it's kind of interesting. Slave Paul has been in my good graces for about 15, 16 years now, right? And kind of an interesting, funny part of the story is when...
My name is Joanne. This is my father.
I know what's happening with my body. I won't be able to take care of myself.
When the time comes to get more support for your parents, CARE can help you find qualified caregivers nearby.
What would help me is if there could be somebody there that could check in on you.
I realize I have to do it.
The best decisions are made with CARE. Find help for your mom or dad at care.com.
I had gotten rid of Tammy and had Mum Man and had Paula at the same time. So I had 3 slaves, right? And then Mum Man, obviously, we know what happened with him. He was more of a fetishist. He really wasn't a submissive, and he was kind of doing his own thing, and it kind of pissed me off. And I had said to him, I said, listen, you're wearing my collar. You really need to, adhere to my rules, or you can't wear my collar. So he got mad at me, was going and talking to people behind my back, because he's a bit of a cunt, is a nice way to put it. And when you're a cunt like that, it doesn't make you a good person, and mistress kind of sees everything that you do, or hears about it. It's kind of interesting. in the BDSM life, you know, there are other mistresses and masters like on social media and people in like real life too. And someone such as myself who knows a lot of people, right? You would think that these submissives would be like, oh, I'm not doing XYZ because my mistress can't see. Bullshit. Let me tell you, there are people that watch people everywhere. There are submissives who tell on other submissives, which I've had happen to me a few times in my life. There are submissives that tell on each other. Why? Because they want to get in good graces of a mistress or master, and they figure, well, this sub is not really like doing his thing for this mistress. Maybe I can, make her turn and look in my general direction and kind of have her become my mistress. It doesn't always really work like that. To me, that's like a needy sub again who wants attention from somebody because they want to be. They want to be like in that lifestyle, and they'll do anything to get it. Lie, cheat, steal, whatever, right? So my whole retrospect on a lot of things now is that like, well, okay, there are people that do XYZ. There are people that don't do XYZ. And then there are just subs that are not really submissive, but they think they are kind of interesting enough. And when you have somebody like that, it's really hard to keep your stable like intact. So nowadays, like I said, I made a statement earlier. I have Slave Paula still. I don't see him all that often, but out of all the slaves and submissives I have ever owned, Slave Paula was the most obedient out of all of them. Knew his place, understood their place, and never had any bullshit with them whatsoever. So to me, that's a really good submissive. As far as me trying to find a replacement for somebody, absolutely not. Like I said, Mistress is only really doing... I'm on OnlyFans under onlyfans.com/MistressCandy69. I'm on the network BDSM Alive Radio Network with my show, The Whip Appeal, which I have Mistress Black Velvet and now lovely Rita Daniels joining the network in a couple of weeks. Exxxotica, I plan to go and network and do a lot of networking and see my friends and whatnot and try to see if I can get other people to join the network. And as far as me looking for a submissive, I'm not really looking for subs. I will do online BDSM one-to-one sessions on my StreamMate, which is streammatemodels.com/MistressCandy69. And I'm also on Night Flirt and Talk to Me also for phone domination. So that's about it, really. I mean, I'm not really looking for in-person sessions unless I meet with you several times and know that you're safe. And again, it's not for a live-in position or for mistress to have like another slave. I mean, I would only really... I'm kind of like not retired, but not fully like doing sessions anymore is a good way to put it. Because one, people are fucking nuts. Two, you don't know who the fuck you're going to be dealing with. And three, I have a lot of stuff on my plate. I'm keeping the network busy. I have a new wonderful boyfriend who I've kind of, I'll admit it, I fell in love with him, I have to say. It's amazing. Him and I actually have a lot of things in common. And yeah, your mistress will never say this again on air, but yes, I had fallen in love with my new boyfriend. So, him and I are glued at the hip, so to speak, and that's about it. And it's awesome. And it's kind of, a lot of people are saying, oh, like some of my friends, oh, it's too soon. It's not too soon. When you know, okay? He's kind, he's gentle, he is not jealous over anything I do. He allows me to have a life besides him, which is awesome. And, which is the right, healthy way to do it, by the way. When you're in a relationship with somebody and they're telling you that you can't do certain things and you can't hang out, that person is a controlling narcissist and it's a big fucking red flag. So you don't want to be caught up in any kind of bullshit or drama with somebody who's like that, So in my ass respect, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I've had enough of controlling people, especially people who claim to be submissive. That's like the fucking icing on the fucking cake, like, I mean, subs, if you're listening to my show and you're sitting here saying, oh, well, I could see myself doing something like that. Don't fucking do it. It's a big, juicy red flag to a dominatrix. Nobody wants to hear how much you want to do something. It's not about what you want. It's about what the mistress wants. Again, if you're a sub for domestic servitude and you're, trying to get into the good graces of a dominant and you're pestering her by emailing her or doing XYZ with her, you might want to take a step back and, don't make a pest out of yourself. Making a pest out of yourself is the worst freaking thing you can fucking do to somebody. It's a good way to get chopped off. It's a good way to fucking be ignored. And it's a good way to not be in the good graces of a dominant. Now, if you also come to the dominant and you tell the dominant that, oh, you want to do this or you want to do that and it's got to be done like that, you know what the dom's going to tell you? Yeah, nice to have a nice life, fuck off. Next. So these are things you might want to keep in your back burners, slaves and subs, if you're looking to get in the good graces of a good dominant. Right? So, but yeah, so it's kind of an interesting factor. I'll probably only talk for like another 15, 20 minutes and then I'll be done for today because Mistress has a lot of stuff to do today. I have to go to the gym today. I hadn't been to the gym in 4 days. I actually had a couple of shots in my neck and my back from when I had my spinal fusion about 5 months ago. I had gone to the doctor here and it was the same office from where I was going out in Suffolk, but they just kind of swapped me to one of their offices here. And they said my neck was really tight from having the surgery. And I said, well, I'm also working now too. And, I'm working a couple of jobs here and there. So I'm kind of busy. And she said, okay, well, are you stretching? Are you doing PT? I said, yeah, I'm stretching. I'm doing PT. And she's like, all right. She's like, well, I'm going to have to give you a couple of injections of muscle relaxer. She goes, because you're extremely tight. And she goes, and we don't want to put any unnecessary pressure on the new disc. So I said, okay. So, and then, of course, my lower back was starting to bother me. So my new boyfriend has been giving me awesome lower back massages. He's been, last couple of days ago, he was here. And he was here yesterday, too. But yesterday, my back wasn't bothering me. So on last Thursday when he was here, he was rubbing my back and he's like, oh, I think your disc is out. I said, yeah, I think it is too. So I said, when I go to a doctor on Monday, we'll see what they do, right? So I go to the doctor and they set up for 2 shots for the neck. And then when I told them about the lower back, she went and got 2 more. And these needles, oh my God, these needles were fucking huge. Oh my God. So she had me kind of lean over in the chair and she injected in between the vertebrae. And actually, I felt a sense of relief immediately, which was really good. So they said wait a few days and then I can go back to the gym. So that's where I'm kind of going now. I'm going to the gym today. Then I'm going to go see my friends and family because yesterday was my mom's birthday. She turned 72. So I didn't get to see her because I was working and then I had gone out with my boyfriend yesterday. And I had to work kind of late yesterday. I was there at work until almost 6 o'clock, which normally I leave at 2. So it's kind of made some extra hours or whatever. And then what else did I do? And then my new guy and I are going to the Prong concert on Saturday in Patchogue in 89 North. It's Prong, Kill Code, Damn Your Eyes, and Agony of something. I forget the name of the other band, but there's a whole bunch of bands going. But I'm really excited to see my friend Tommy Victor and his wife Megan and some other people there. So it's going to be an awesome show. Then October 18th, Mistress is going to Judas Priest at Nassau Coliseum. But I'm going as my regular self because I'm not really allowed to wear heels just yet. And I kind of want to save my heels for Exxxotica. So, because by then it'll be 6 months I think, since I had surgery. Around Exxxotica time, it's officially 6 months, I think. April, May, June, July, August. Oh, it's 5 months. Yeah, 5 months, or 5.5 months since I had the surgery. So